Damien, hi, how are you?
Doing well. How are you? Happy New Year.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today.
Yeah, thanks for reaching out.
I really appreciate it. I just wanted to say to start off with, I really loved your film, The Cleansing Hour. Uh, it is one of the better demonic possession exorcism movies I've seen in recent years.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
So to start things off, your film, The Cleansing Hour, started as a short film that you made in 2016. Um, did you use that film primarily as a proof of concept to get the feature made, or were you just trying to, only make a short film?
Yeah, it was a proof of concept. I wanted to, we put a lot of money into the short film, and I felt very strongly that if we're going to make this short film and we're going to put this kind of money into it, we need to make sure we're going to use this for something bigger. So absolutely, it was a proof of concept, and it worked out really well. We won awards all over the world for it. We went to all the big festivals, including Sitges, and it paid off. It was a great way of showing people what we would do with the feature film.
Well, the short film, when I saw it, I remember remarking to myself how polished and the production quality was just so sub or so a higher quality above most other short films made out there. It was basically like a studio made feature film. It had the same look and sound and quality to it.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, we put a lot of really hard work into it, and I have a background in post production as well, so it was beneficial going into it. Understanding how VFX are done, and I edited the movie too, so I was very efficient on set with what I was going to film, because I was only going to shoot what I was planning on editing. I never really, I didn't even have the luxury of shooting too much because we had such a tight schedule.
Okay. Well, I love how you paired horror with reality TV. What was your inspiration for that?
Well, I've been working professionally as an editor for 15 years, and during which time I've spent a good amount of time editing reality TV. So I understand the power of editing and how it can manipulate people into thinking that something is anything but reality. There's a lot of staging in reality TV, and I just sort of combined that idea with my love of exorcism horror. And then on top of that, I didn't really want to make a found footage movie, but I do like the idea that something feels more verite or believable if you've got like grainy footage and shaky camera. So kind of combined all that together and just thought, well, hey, what if these guys were doing exorcisms and they got their comeuppance and it just went horribly wrong one day.
True, very true. I thought that the film it's got a very smart story. Um, in lieu of today's technology, everyone has a phone and everyone is online connected to the internet. Um, a potential demon, such as in your film, could reach a huge amount of people that way. It just floored me with how smart you concocted that.
Thank you.
I really
Yeah, I mean,
enjoyed
I
part
I,
of
I
it.
think I think that there's a lot of social commentary in the movie, right? And they start when you start out, these guys are only they're only able to pull about 200,000 followers for every one of their episodes. Which, by the way, like if anyone can get 200,000 people to
Right.
watch your live stream at any given time, that's respectable. But they ended up getting millions and millions and millions over the course of the movie. And I think that that's a very believable thing. I mean, people from around the world tuning in to see a disaster happen. Everyone's going to do that. If it bleeds, it leads, right?
Right, right, definitely. Uh, did you do much research into the demonology aspect of the film, as far as the demons that you use for the film? Um,
Yeah.
they're pretty accurate.
Yeah, yeah. In this one in particular, yes. I've been into the demonology and angels and demons and religion and theology and all that stuff for quite some time. And I write a lot of movies that deal with that kind of thing anyway. So this was just a natural fit. It wasn't hard for me to really do that research. But I did think that accuracy was especially important in this movie, just because we had this character of Drew who's really into it too, and he's done all this research and he has all these books that he sort of put in. He's culled information from and put them into a database. So just to make it believable, I would think, well, this guy would have the same access to demonology and that sort of information that I would. So it should be real. It should be as accurate as possible.
Right. And I like that aspect of the film as well. It brought a more, if you want to say, believability to it.
Yeah, thank you.
Rather than just, made up demonology lore. Also, I wanted to ask you, the Max character differs quite a bit, I guess, as far as looks go, from the short film to the feature film.
Mm-hmm.
Is that just because of the different choice of actors, or was that a planned decision?
It was absolutely a planned decision. I mean, I thought, I think that the feature film is a different movie in so many ways from the short. So, I think that certain adjustments have to be made whenever you expand the movie from the short version into the feature version. So because of that, certain different actors have to be considered, but we also had to consider changing a lot of different things visually. So I think that what Max in the feature really needed to embody was sort of the worst of the social media influencer that we all know, right? It has to be, and you also have to be able to justify why people would be like just bending over backwards to see him, and women would be crazy about him. He has to sort of exude this raw sexuality and look really good with long hair and everything. So it's a slightly different character in the short compared to in the feature compared to the short.
Well, I thought Ryan Guzman was a great choice to play the character for the feature version. I thought he did such a great job and pulled it off greatly.
Thank you. Yeah, I think Ryan's exceptionally talented. And one of the reasons why I loved working with Ryan so much is just because he understood this character so deeply from just the very first time he read the script. In fact, he was raised going to a Catholic school where they groomed the boys for like the priesthood. So like, he already sort of understood the mythology of Roman Catholicism and like a priest. So he was very natural in it. It was crazy. It was just a coincidence that he happened to have that background. So he had already sort of known how to pretend to be a priest from the beginning.
Right. I guess that's very similar to his character's background in the film.
Mm-hmm.
I also wanted to comment on the creature effects in the film. The demon produced by the great Alec Gillis and Tom Woodruff Jr. was just incredible.
Thank you.
The demon that they made was one of the best I've seen, and the transformation into that demon was just awesome. Did you have any input into the look of the demon, or was that all Woodruff and Gillis?
Yeah, I had a lot of input. We have a design phase. We went through a design phase with them, and I gave them a lot of visual references. I put together, a bunch of pictures that I'd culled from the internet, and I said, I like this part of this one. I like this part of this one. And, we worked with the designers to figure out, a unique demon, something that like we haven't seen before. And that was really important for me. I want to be unique. I also didn't want it to look cheesy. I want to look terrifying and believable, that like, this is what, the Prince of Hell would actually look like. And yeah, it was great. It was a phenomenal experience working with them, and they really helped bring the movie to life in a way that I wanted to, because I'm so committed to doing practical effects.
Yeah, the demon just totally blew me away. There's not many that I've seen better looking than that. How were you able to manage to get those two in the first place?
Just called them up. It was really that simple. I just called them up, and we reached out to a number of different houses that make practical effects, and we really just gelled. They're just such great guys, and we really got along great with the whole team there, and they're such wonderful people. And I think, personality is a lot of it. You want to feel like you can really jam with them, and like, and you want to hang out together. You don't want you want it to be a good relationship because you're going to be spending so much time together. And they are great people, and I'm looking forward to working with them on the next movie.
Cool. Do you have any plans for a sequel for the movie, or to continue the story any further? Because it's possible that it could continue.
There has been some talk about doing a sequel or even a series, but there's nothing imminent right now. I mean, I could actually see it. I could see it living as a 6 or 8 part season, on Shudder, or even as a feature film. But it's really just a matter of if I get enough people clamoring for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I kind of feel that the characters people would like to see, or myself would like to see, where they go from this point. If they just called it quits,
Yeah.
or if they turned into a true exorcism show, trying to fight the forces of darkness or whatever.
Yeah, I think it would be very interesting. I think a lot of people would want to see that. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's something I would like to see in the future, and I'm sure a great many people would as well. I know we're limited on time here, so I just really want to say your film, The Cleansing Hour, was such a well-made movie, and as I said, one of the better possession exorcism films that I've seen in a great many years. And I just want to thank you for making such a great film.
That's my pleasure. And I want to encourage everybody to check out the DVD, not only because it has the short film on it, so that you can, especially for any filmmaker out there that wants to see how a short film can evolve into a feature, but it also has, it has commentary by myself and my producing partner and wife, Natalie, where we talk about things throughout the movie that we really haven't been able to talk about in interviews or anywhere else. So there's some cool things there, some behind the scenes goodies. And it's just really nice to have that physical copy that you can go back and enjoy over and over again, in a way that you can't necessarily do it when you stream.
Definitely, definitely. So one last question, what's coming up next for you?
I've got a couple movies in the works. One of them that I'm currently pitching is kind of a contained creature horror called Good Luck Nightingale, and it's about this mom who is keeping her daughter locked in a room at a sustained fever because she thinks that if she breaks the fever, she'll turn into this monster. And these two kids break into the house looking for shelter, and they quickly discover that mom and daughter are not who they say they are, and that they are also not in this house alone. It's a super twisted and dark creature body horror with like the most incredible twist ending that I have ever read. I didn't write this particular script, and it's one of those ones where it's like you go back and you read it and you are just blown away and have to go back and rewatch the movie so that you can see all the Easter eggs that you missed along the way. Nice. So I've got that one going. It's called Good Luck Nightingale. I filmed a little teaser for it that's on my Vimeo, so it makes it easier to pitch something when you have something to show somebody, right? So that's on my Vimeo page. And then I've got another haunted house movie that's kind of a Midsummer meets The Conjuring, set against the rural Irish countryside, incorporating Irish folklore in a very creepy way.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, thank you again so much for talking to me, Damien. I really appreciate it, and I wish you the best of luck with what all you do in the future. And I look forward to seeing your next projects.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate the time, and let's stay in touch. You can always reach me on Twitter, Instagram, Telegram, at Damien LeVeck. I'm really easy to reach.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Damien. I really appreciate it.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Have a good one.
You too.